Welcome to Back to School Click with Caution. And I'm here to provide some essential tips for keeping our children safe online. Our children are using social media sites like TikTok, Instagram, Kick, and Gas. And I just want to do a survey and just want to know if there's anyone that have heard of the app Gas. Have you heard about the app Be Real? There are a bunch of apps that are out here. And so for the people that are watching live, hi. For the people that will watch this later on the replay, hi. I'm so glad that you are here. I like to be a good steward of your time, and I wanted to start directly at 8 p.m. We have a lot of ground to cover, and so I am very excited for you to be here. So let me get my screen together. So, hey, my name is Bianca, and I am devoted to empowering folks to have a safer and more inclusive digital landscape. I am combining my expertise with strategic planning, coaching, and consulting. And through my digital agency and my educational platform, Teaching for the Culture, I want to continue to make a difference in helping individuals and organizations harness the power of digital media while championing safety, authenticity, and personal growth. I am thankful that I'm honoring my assignment as I had to take my life back, heal, and find joy. Yes, indeed. So, digital guardianship. It is the practice of safeguarding our children in the digital world. Just as we guide and protect them in the physical world, we also need to keep that same energy in the digital streets. Amen. So, there are children that have unprecedented access to the internet. We continue to hear about unprecedented times. Well, our children have unprecedented access to the internet and at increasingly younger ages. So the potential for exposure to inappropriate content, cyberbullying, online predators rises significantly. And so I just want to just thank you because you being here, you are a digital guardian. And I'm going to share more about that later because we need all hands on deck to protect our children online. So I definitely want to highlight some of the stats and want to make sure that I share the link of the source in the comments so that you're able to see some of this data yourself. But 70% of children encounter a sexual or violent content online while doing the search. And that can be very frightening to them, and it's very important that they are aware of how to use the internet safely and responsibly. 58% of parents and caregivers say that their children's internet habits concern them. And it's very important that we have courageous conversations with our children because studies have been conducted to reveal that 29% have access to inappropriate material. 29% have too much screen time. And so, a recent report by Common Sense Media, which I will provide as a reference later, they found that teenagers spend an average of 8 hours and 39 minutes per day on screens. 8 hours and 39 minutes, and so we're definitely gonna go back to that. And 70% saw an increase in bullying, hate speech amongst teens since COVID-19. For those that have been following this work pre the pandemic, you know that I have been highlighting some of the things that have been happening on social media prior to COVID-19. And as we are here, after the pandemic, we are seeing that this is still increasing. And so we need to make sure that we are providing the safety and having the conversation. So the question is, seeing the data, what could we do about this? We see the problem, these are the stats, and I'm wondering what we can do about it. Well, let's talk about the landscape so that everyone is on the same page. And I appreciate those that are giving the hearts in the comments. It really means a lot to me. And so understanding the digital landscape is four major parts that I want to dissect this to. So social media platforms such as TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, Be Real, which are very popular amongst teens. And they provide avenues for communication, self-expression, and information. However, they also expose children to things like cyberbullying, inappropriate content, and online predators. We have gaming platforms such as Xbox Live, PlayStation Network, Roblox, Fortnite, Minecraft. Not only they provide online experiences that includes chat features that allows users to communicate in real time. They also offer entertainment and social interaction. So children actually can be exposed to foul language and predatory behavior. The video sharing platforms such as YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and Netflix, they have a wealth of children programming, but there's also a lot of things behind the scenes that can expose kids to inappropriate content. And if you have been following the Teaching for the Culture Network for some time, there is a segment called The Underground and Unfiltered, where it goes and dives deep and to some of the social media platforms, some of the influencers, and some of the things that have been happening behind the scenes on the internet. And then the chat and messaging apps. That's like WhatsApp, GroupMe, your standard iMessage, Discord. These are all common apps and tools. And if they're unmonitored, it could be grounds for cyberbullying, inappropriate contact with strangers. Also, be very intentional with the group messages and the group chats because there is a lot that's happening. And there are different apps that are continuing to come out. So I'm wondering what social media platforms are most popular in your home. What apps do y'all use the most? Whether that's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whether that is um, Xbox at home, if you have Minecraft at home, what are the games that are being played? And for the videos, do you watch a lot of YouTube, Netflix? What does that look like? And wondering how often do y'all communicate? Do you use WhatsApp? What type of chat messaging tools do you use? And how many of those do you have? So let's talk about the dangers. So cyberbullying, we know that teenagers are tormented, they're threatened, they're harassed, they're humiliated. It's a lot. And being a middle school educator once upon a time, seeing that was very traumatic. Seeing children being bullied for being who they are and then it being posted on the internet where the internet never forgets. It is a very dangerous place for children at times. And so we need to make sure that we're holding each other accountable when we're using these platforms so that we're not putting people down, but that we are uplifting folks. And online predators, we see it day in and day out. News articles of people being exposed by trying to connect with children online. It is sad that we have internet predators that are trying to exploit vulnerable children for abusive purposes. And so I want you to be very intentional with who your children are talking to, because if they are talking to a stranger, it could really be dangerous for their health and their safety. Next, we're moving to the information privacy and data breaches. And we've seen data breaches all the time, but also sharing your information is very, very important. We have police officers that are sharing on the internet for parents and caregivers to be very intentional about the information that they share on the first day of school. So please don't share your child's first name, last name, their teacher's name, their grade, or even tag the school. And if you are posting pictures, please be very intentional. If they're wearing a uniform, making sure that you're not giving away where your child goes to school. I will say that there are people that will actually go out and will try to kidnap your child. There are videos all circling around the internet with different people that have attempted to do that based on information that they were able to piece together on the internet. Exposure to inappropriate content. This is a lot. And there's a lot of content that is out there that, parents, you're not going to be able to catch. But we have to be very, very intentional with what our children have access to. And in the comments, it says also be mindful of other children in pictures. And absolutely, when we are posting pictures of children, we have to be very mindful of why we're doing it and some of the parameters with that, because we can expose our children to some very dangerous situations if we're not intentional with making sure that we are capturing the photo appropriately and we're posting it in the appropriate place. And the last danger is addiction to screen time. And with screen time, I have a question for y'all because I want to talk about our own screen time. I'm currently pulling up my phone here and I am going to see what my screen time is telling me. So, currently, right now, my screen time says 14 hours and 5 minutes. So I'm wondering, how many hours per day do you think you and or your children typically spend on screens? And how do you feel about that? When I'm looking at 14, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that is a lot of time." And if you have been following this journey and knowing about the social media detox that I talk about often, it's very important that you are mindful with how long you spend on your device. But I'm wondering, what does that look like for you? So if you have a iPhone device, how you can find your screen time is actually going to your phone and going to settings. And once you go to settings, you can literally type in the search bar, you can type screen time. When you type screen time, it actually will appear with your screen time, your daily average, and also some settings to where you can make modifications on how much you spend on the screen. The recommended time for adults is actually no more than 2 hours per day, but the average American spends around 7 hours per day online. And so I do want to put the link of the source of the screen time stats so that you can see it, but I am curious to know what your current screen time data is. The question is, how do we access the screen time report on the phone? And so for iPhone, like I said, if you go to your settings and then you type in screen time, it will make it accessible for you. For those folks that do not have an iPhone and you have an Android, you're in luck because I have that too. And you literally go through your settings as well. And what they call it digital well being. So you're going to type in digital well being and it will tell you your screen time on your device. Also, different devices have different type of ways that you can access it. So if it doesn't work in the way that I'm describing to you, I would check with your cell phone's manufacturing guide. And so it would tell you the different features, or you can YouTube it as well. That is an excellent question. So, with this conversation of screen time, and I'm sharing with y'all that currently I'm at 14 hours, and it's quite interesting to see the different numbers of screen times out there. But the AACAP, that is the American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, they published an update in May of this year in regards to screen time and their recommendations. They say, on average, children ages 8 to 12 in the United States spends 4 to 6 hours a day using or watching screens, and teens spend up to 9 hours. So, the tip that they are providing is for you to turn off your screens 30 to 60 minutes before bedtime. And I do want to post the link to this report so that you can see it directly from them because it was very interesting to see. The chat in the comment says, "My screen time is 7 hours and 7 minutes." Yes, indeed. I'm wondering, how do you feel about that? And is that in alignment with your practices and how you use your phone? So, the next thing about screen time is the screen time is calculated by the number of apps you have too. So, how many apps do you have? So, I am begging you to be very intentional with all the different apps that you have on your phone. There are so many different exploits out there in the marketplace. And so I need you to know the different apps that you have on your phone, but not just your phone, the children that you care for too. Because there are so many different apps. One, I'm going to expose to you, but these apps are very, very important. So, in order to figure out how to find out how many apps you have on your phone, for those who have an iPhone, okay, you're going to go to settings, you're going to go to general, and you're going to click about. And when you click about, it will show applications and it will give you a number. I have 79 applications installed on my iPhone. For those of you that have an Android, you're going to go to the Google Play store. So you're going to go to the Google Play store, and on the top right hand corner where your profile is, okay, you're going to go and you're going to select manage apps and devices. Okay, manage apps and devices. Not your nervous. Yes, indeed. Come on, come on. Get the receipts. And then you're going to select manage. And from there, you're going to be able to see the number of apps. I have 85 installed on my Android device. So, depending on what device you have, the instructions are different, but knowing how many apps are installed on your phone and what type of apps are installed on your phone is very, very important for your digital hygiene, but also your safety on your phone. So I'm wondering, what does that look like? And so speaking of apps, let's talk about one that is very interesting and something that I want people to really pay attention to. And so this is a ghost app. This is a calculator. It appears as a standard calculator. On the right, you can see a video recording of me using this app that is on a loop. So on the calculator, I am typing 5 times 5 to do math. But if I put 1, 2, 3, and that percentage sign, I'm being taken to a vault. And this vault allows me to hide photos, videos, documents, passwords, notes, contacts, all of that. Whatever it is that I desire to hide, I can hide it in this app. And no one would think anything of it because if you click on it by its appearance, it functions just as a standard calculator. I'm here to tell you that there's so many variations of this type of app, and I can't wait to continue to explore this with y'all. And so I will see y'all next week at 8 o'clock the same time so that we can unpack some of these apps. But to see this and to see what it can be used for, it even has an internet browser. So, if you click and you see browser right there, children can go on the internet and explore things without you even knowing. And the only way you would have access to it is by having that secret PIN code. So, the best ways and the best practices, setting clear guidelines, you're going to know your child and the person that you're caring for more than me. So, what I'm going to say is please have clear and intentional guidelines based on age and their appropriateness of using the device, and making sure that you are consistent and that you're honoring that. Using parental controls, which I'm actually going to place on the screen so that you can actually scan it with the QR code and you can get the resources directly from Apple and directly from Google. You're getting it right from them, not from me. You're getting it from them. So, after you set up these parental controls and you monitor activity, having these conversations about online safety is very, very important. These are opportunities for you to learn who your children are following on social media and some of the trends that they are seeing on TikTok and Instagram and all of these different variations of platforms that are out there on the marketplace. Also, for you to model that same behavior and for you to demonstrate and walk it like you talk it. There are some families that I've had conversations with where they have phone zones where phones are not allowed, such as bedrooms. And so children have to charge their phone in a common space and not in their room unsupervised. That is something where you are setting clear guidelines and expectations. For me, I do want to share this tool that I have because I use it often to help me. But this is a kitchen safe box, and this can be found on Amazon. And what I do is when I need to focus on work, the phones go right into the box. It's closed and it's set on a timer. There is nothing that can open this box but for the timer running out. Whatever strategy that you have to use in order to make sure that you are protecting your peace and protecting your safe spaces, that's what you have to do because it is a lot with these devices. And so just imagine if you're overwhelmed, just imagine what's happening to our children. And there are studies that show that our children are experiencing a lot of mental health challenges. And one of the contributing factors are these devices, the access that they have to technology, and some of the platforms and the algorithms that are set up currently today. So I do want to go ahead and share these links for you to go ahead and scan the QR code for you to click the link so you can see it yourself. This is with Apple. So if you have an iPhone device, if your child has a tablet, an iPad, you want to get the link directly from Apple. Get the source directly from Apple. Apple will provide you a guide on how to set up parental controls on their devices. Whether you want to set up screen time permission settings, limits on what they have access to, or even what they can download on the App Store, which I highly recommend because there are articles that come out all the time about children making unauthorized charges because they're able to download freely without having some type of PIN code, and they're able to just kind of go through the process and make unauthorized charges. So, if you have an iPhone, a iPad, any type of Apple device, this is the QR code and the link will be posted in the comments for you to go ahead and check that out. For the folks that have a Android device and you are operating in the Google network, this is the link for you. This is the QR code for you. You can go directly to Google Play, where they will provide you parental controls that you can get this set up. And so I really highly recommend that there are settings put in place to where there are no apps that are installed unless you have direct approval and consent. Like I said, there's a lot of different apps out there and there's a lot of different opportunities. So please make sure that you use your opportunity to exercise these parental controls to make sure that you are safeguarding your children and the folks that you care about. This resource is Common Sense Media. And I had shared that I was going to post this to y'all and talk about Common Sense Media. Common Sense Media has a lot of different resources for parents to talk about different movie titles, different apps, and there's even spaces where children can even learn how to navigate online challenges and different apps to explore. Common Sense Media is a fabulous resource, and I highly recommend that you check them out, that you check out their website, and you see the different opportunities that are available that this organization provides because it is amazing. And of course, shameless plug, I'm always going to talk about checkthecellphone.com. And there are several different presentations that are already ready to go and more presentations on the way. So if you want to learn more about AirDrop, there's a presentation for you. If you want to learn more about ghost apps, what I was talking about earlier, there is a presentation already there. And if you need a way to track your child and want to discuss different location tracking apps, that presentation is available as well. Like I said, with more to come. So please go to checkthecellphone.com to receive more resources. Subscribe to our mailing list to learn more. And so, again, protecting our children is by checking the cell phone. Please make sure that you are checking us out as we are on a mission to protecting our children online and providing valuable resources to the community to help with our children. And we want you to join the mailing list. So the digital guardians, here you are, here we are, and we need you as digital guardians to help keep our children safe online. So if you scan this QR code, it will take you directly to our website to where you can get more resources, stay connected with different events. And I can't wait to see y'all next week. If you have any questions about what was discussed today and what will be discussed in the future, please reach out to us at checkthecellphone.com. I would love to hear from you, and I'm so grateful for the team at Teaching for the Culture to making sure that this is all set up in the way that it needs to be. I am dedicated to making sure that our children are safe. And as digital guardians, we are going to do that together. So, this is a brief overview of what you need to know. There's a lot of different opportunities on this internet, and we need to be very intentional with what we're giving our children. I hope that y'all have an amazing day, that y'all take care, and continue to keeping our children safe online. Until next time, peace.